The first thing that you need to know for compound sentences would be that simple sentences are all called independent clauses. So then with compound sentences, we're combining different independent clauses. Now the first example, or the first way that we're going to look at that, is by using commas and conjunctions. Now there's something called fanboys, and that's an acronym for different conjunctions that you can use. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. In this first example, we have the hurricane obliterated the small town in North Carolina, yet everyone escaped without any injuries. So the first thing that we need to do is look for our first independent clause. And we can do that by looking for the subjects and the verbs. So we have hurricane obliterated. Then we have everyone escaped as the subjects and verbs in our next independent clause. And then combining those together is a comma and a conjunction. Yet. Another example, the semester's workload at school was much harder. For each class added more essays. So we once again have subject and verb in the first part, workload, was. Then we have a comma and a conjunction for, combining that with the other independent clause. The next type of sentence is a compound sentence with I, semicolon, I. So in this first one, we have the obese cat barely had any energy to move. The mice walked in front of it and stole its food. So on either side of the semicolon, there's an independent clause. We have subjects and verbs on both sides. Cat had, mice walked, stole. So independent clause on both sides. Now, a semicolon is just like using a comma and a conjunction. The only thing is that both sentences have to be very closely related in order for it to work. So you can't say the obese cat barely had any energy to move, semicolon, the dog ate his food quickly, because those don't really go very well together. So it has to be closely aligned in order for a semicolon to work. That's one way of having the two sentences together with a semicolon. However, there's another way where right after the semicolon you can have an adverbial conjunction, which isn't the same thing as a regular conjunction. So in this one, we have someone hacked Sabatha's email account, therefore she changed the password to a more difficult one. And so we have subjects and verbs on both sides, and then therefore right after the semicolon.